All right, guys, look, I know a lot of you follow the second channel, but for those of you who don't, we are having another pay-per-view at the Freedom Factory on June 20th, which is like 2 weeks away. It's called The Burnout Rivals, presented by Summit Racing Equipment. Broken into 3 parts. The first part is a Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus Chelsea Dyno FD style drift 1v1 battle. It's going to be sick. That's going to be our opener. Best part is you guys get a vote from home. Literally, we have a voting platform on the pay-per-view, so you can vote on who wins between Chelsea and Vaughn. Not only do we have Spicy Spence announcing the event, we also hired the Formula Drift announcer, Jared Danda. It's going to be legit. Next thing, freestyle drift. Listen to this. We're opening up the entire Freedom Factory for this competition. So me, Adam LZ, Taylor Ray, Vaughn Gittin Jr., and Chelsea Dyno, it's a freaking battle of us 5. You get 2 minutes to rip the hardest line you can come up with using the entire Freedom Factory at your disposal. You can start at the entrance, jump in, jump out, freaking cross the middle, go into the burnout pad that we're going to be using later. I mean, you can literally use the entire Freedom Factory. Honestly, you can go in the shop if you want. We'll clear out the shop. So whatever line Vaughn or Adam or Taylor or Chelsea come up with, your boy Cleet's going to have to compete with. So I'm going to be out there, and it's 2 minutes. So hardest line you can come up with. Only rule is you gotta stay off the grass. Part number 3, we're doing a Burnout Rivals burnout competition with 12 drivers. So most of them are our guys like Coop, James, JH. We got Vargas coming. We got the Motion Raceworks guys, all sorts of people. And then we're also letting in 5 of you guys, which there'll be more information coming on that soon on how you can enter. And then after the Burnout Rivals competition, there is a James versus Cleetus 1v1 burnout battle, neighbor versus white trash, to end off the pay-per-view. And guys, you get to vote on this stuff from home, so it's really going to be fun and a good way for you guys to interact, because you can't really go out to large sporting events right now. We did the same pricing as last time. It's $9.95 if you buy the pay-per-view beforehand, and it's $14.95 if you buy it the day of. Ran those numbers past you guys. You guys seem to be super happy with that from the Freedom 500, and we're doing everything we can to make this a way better production than the Freedom 500. So I really think you guys are getting a good deal, and we're super excited to generate some income for the track, put on a cool show for you guys. It's going to be epic, and you guys can go purchase your Summit Racing Equipment Burnout Rivals pay-per-view ticket at CleetusMcFarland.com after the video. But guys, quick shout out to Summit Racing Equipment, because they stepped up to sponsor this event even in these crazy times, and they're letting us build them a burnout van as part of the sponsorship. So I think it's freaking epic. But that's it, guys. Enjoy the video.
Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
All right, boys and gals. Today, the return of Leroy happens, and we're gonna get this thing back running today, because tomorrow I am taking Leroy up to Kevin's shop, KSR Fab and Performance, for a total retune, cleaning everything up, and then we're actually finally adding front and rear wheel speed sensors, which is huge. So if you guys see here, James is working on a torque tube that is broken. Yeah, you broke it. It's not gonna make it very far. So James is fixing the torque tube, and then over here we've got a broken transmission. So we did get the parts from G-Force Transmission. We're getting this transmission ready, because we're gonna stuff the spare trans in the car for now, rebuild that one, and bring that as our spare now. So we'll get this stuffed in the car today. James will get the torque tube done right now, which you can see we have our new one. We're just running another stock C5 torque tube, and from there we'll be ready to rip.
Yeah, it's funny we call that one our spare, but that's actually the better trans. It's got the billet front plate on it.
Yeah, that is the better transmission. So we'll start off with the better one and get it shoved in the car and drive it in the trailer tonight. That's the goal. All right, so transmission is hung up in the car. That means subframe up next. All right, we're on. We're back together. Let's lower it down. Oh, actually, let's go up, drain the oil, and then put the new filter on. Guys, we're gonna drain the oil. This thing will be running in just a couple minutes. All right, boys. You can see we're back in street trim. We don't have our passenger seat back in yet. Still in race mode in the cab, but we got the big radiator back on, alternator back on. Things are looking up, man. This is coming back to a street car, and just about to put some water in it, fill up the radiator, make sure that's good, put some oil back in it, and we're good to rip. Oh, we gotta put the hitch back on, don't we?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Okay. We should not forget to do that, or we're gonna have a bad time trying to go trailer pulling.
I figured I'd leave the hitch off until we know everything's good and it survives our tests, because the hitch has to come off to get the different trans out.
Yeah, true. True. We did build this transmission ourselves. It's the first one we've ever rebuilt on our own. See how she holds up. Okay, here we go. Discrepancy at idle, but when these are wide open, they really come together. But you can tell that all cylinders are hot, which is important. Those numbers down there are wrong. That's that. Well, good. This tune up, I don't think it's real far, but it could definitely like idle a little bit cleaner. It could start cold starts like when we're in like colder temperatures. Just want to make sure Kevin gives it his seal of approval. That's one of the best feelings as a stick shift car owner is after the first start when you have everything apart, you put it in gear and it goes the right direction, you don't hear any loud noise. That's why James and I are both like, oh thank God.
Well,
engagement on the ramp.
a couple things happened. You did.
Sorry guys, my stick car's been broken for so long.
You definitely did a burnout, and then you shot that piece of wood back there.
That was fun. All right, boys. Leroy's ready to go to Kevin's for the treatment. We'll see you at Kevin. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning.
How you doing today?
I'm all right. A little
Ready
sleepy.
to work on a freaking
Leroy.
old bodiless Corvette. It's been a hot minute since you were behind the computer on this car.
Yeah, well, we go way back to all the way first time we
Way
dyno
back.
treated.
Yep. So guys, today we're at Kevin's shop, which is KSR Performance and Fabrication. We're up in Gainesville, and you guys just saw him working on the Dale truck. But for those of you who haven't been around all that long, to give you some history, when Leroy was stock computer, Jeremy tuned him, but about 2.5 years ago we switched him over to a Holley Dominator computer, and Kevin was the very first person to put a tune on the car. And that's actually how I met him, because Jeremy brought Kevin to the dyno that day. I was like, who the heck is this guy?
And then we tried to blow it up.
Yeah, and then we did stuff wrong, and I was like, okay, this guy clearly has no idea what he's doing. and then he figured out his issues, and now here we are today. Kevin helped me go my first 8-second pass, helped me go 8:42.
That record, that was an awesome night, by the way.
Yeah. So, I mean, just a ton of really cool stuff we've done together. And he hasn't really gotten to work on a Leroy in a couple of years just because I've taken over pretty much all the tuning. I mean, I've sent you some logs here and there and stuff. But since then, but he's back today because there's a couple things he needs, which include wheel speed sensors, which we've never had. We never know what our tire slip speed is like, you know, how badly our rear tires are outrunning the fronts, things like that. And Kevin's gonna get this thing ironed out so we have some more data to give to our clutch company that then helps us change the clutch weights and
all that good stuff.
And then we're gonna get a cleaner tune on it because it's just got a McFarland tune on it that's pretty messy, but a lot of stuff that can be figured out,
Little things.
and so we're gonna get these bald eagles in order today. Got a little dirty, but you know, it was dusty and it was raining last night, so
Same here.
we just got to get it done today, and then I'm gonna take it home, clean it up, and then it's going on the ride of its life. So
Rocky Mountain Race Week.
no big deal. So all right, I'll get them unloaded. And are we going in the shop first?
Yeah. We'll actually park it right next to the El Camino.
Oh yeah. So I think you guys got a glimpse of Kevin's shop when I came and got the golf cart, but here is the Elko, which is sitting here, getting some stuff done to it.
Yeah.
And I got some turbos that I'm gonna bring with me next week,
Nice.
which is very exciting.
We're all up, so we wouldn't mess nothing
I
up.
like that. Yeah. So yeah, guys, and then I'll be back up here next week with Ruby. But even look over here real quick. We got the dyno, which we're gonna use today. It's a tall dyno, brother.
Old school dyno.
Go all the way up. You got the big wheel on this thing.
2,000 horsepower.
Yep.
And with this thing an inertia dyno, it's supposed to be just like riding on the street, so we might not have to change the clutch.
I think I talked to our clutch guy. He said to throw some weight on it just so it's not slipping on the dyno. Good accurate
these
number.
They're not like the newer loaded dynos, which the new lower loaded dynos that's a better tuning dyno, especially for steady state stuff and cruising. But for power stuff, these work great for power.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'll get the car out and we'll start working away. And he's here. It'd be cool if we could figure out a way to do boost by time somehow. Oh, I guess we have wheel speed now. We'll have
Boost by time. Let's see. We can do
it by speed.
Yep, I can do an output that triggers over a mile per hour to start the boost by time.
That would be perfect. So guys, we usually use boost by speed, but or boost by gear, but the problem with that is that you get basically one level of, one data point. You get 4 data points to have your boost based off of. So we get this really weird thing where we can't ramp in boost accurately. And with it being by speed, we can set, at 20 miles per hour, we'll target this amount of boost, and 28 mile per hour have a different one, so hopefully that can help us a little bit.
That may be what we end up doing, because that should be pretty consistent still as well, but because of having the speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's hard to do boost by time on a clutch car, because if you're using the clutch switch to initiate the boost by time, well, every time you stab the clutch, it starts over again.
Exactly.
So,
This is crazy. This is supposed to be a dually, sir.
well,
It's a race dually.
When it's got 2,000 horsepower, it needs a big tire on it.
That is insane.
Big block, yo.
Big block.
Big block life.
All right, guys, so you can see here we have a wheel speed sensor in place, but I had it wired up, but I could never get it to work. And it seems so simple to Kevin, but so complicated to Cleet. So here we are. You can see I have the rear one wired in too, but they're just cut because it never worked. So Kevin can finesse some wiring on a Holly for sure. Gotta make sure our trailer brakes or our trailer wires still work too, but
Having the motion is a better sensor anyway.
yeah, we're swapping out these sensors for the Motion Raceworks sensors that should be here in a little bit, and those are actually more accurate, just a better sensor all around too, instead of using the stock ABS stuff on the Corvettes, and we'll be in good shape. So you're gonna machine this to hold the sensor that we're gonna be putting in the diff?
Yep, so we'll machine the outside diameter of that to match the outside diameter of this, and then we'll cut a groove where the O-ring goes, and then we'll drill and tap through the middle to match the motion sensor.
And then we're good.
And then I'll fab a little tab that's like this, so it'll still bolt into the stock spot. It'll be interchangeable between transmissions in case you ever have to change, or transmissions or diffs.
Diffs, yep. Damn, this is the most science we've had on the channel ever.
So this thing, we can dial the speed way down.
Oh. Oh man. He's doing it live, folks.
That's right. So this is just, see how it's just sitting on the bed?
Yeah.
So it's not actually trying to drive it in.
Okay, it's just kind of on its own.
Yep.
Just pulls itself right in like that.
Yep.
Alrighty folks, our Motion Raceworks sensors just arrived in the mail. These things are pretty awesome. This is what Kevin used on the Dale truck for its wheel speed sensors. So he's finishing up his bracket and I'm just running some wiring. We're gonna have wheel speed here in a second. All right guys, here's Kevin's finished invention. So we got the Motion Raceworks sensor. We got his lathed bracket. What would this be called? Something.
Just like an adapter.
Thingamabobber. Because our diff sensor was bad. Look at the O-ring fitment on there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Oh yeah. Beautiful, beautiful.
And then we want to adjust the sensor so that it goes all the way down flush, and then we'll back it off like maybe half a turn or 1 turn.
So it's close but not touching.
Yeah, so it's close, but we don't want to wipe the end of the sensor off with the ring gear, because we're actually sensing the teeth on the ring gear.
She pops in there. Beautiful, man. All right, folks, we are wired up, and this is going to be the first test.
Moment of truth. Spin the front and let's see.
Spin the front.
Yep. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
What do you got?
3 right there. 0. 10. Oh, I saw 12.
That's as hard as... All right, see if the rear works.
All right, we need to lower.
The bolt's gonna catch a little bit, but...
Yep, it's working.
Woo! Yeah. Attaboy. Hell yeah, Kevin. Nice. Success.
We have
All right.
wheel speed sensors.
We got a long drive to the dyno. Yeah, dude, we nailed it on the timing. We just pulled in and starts pouring some Florida rain. Yeah, guys, Kevin's dyno is pretty neat. With these little stairs all the way up here. Pretty cool. All right, guys, so the goal now is to make a couple clean dyno hits. We're probably shooting for around the 1100 horsepower mark. We're not going for any crazy numbers, just making sure everything's clean and running good. And then we can turn it up at the track, but we don't want to wear out the clutch on the dyno, so let's have some fun. Let Leroy sing, let the bald eagles loose. See what this unit can do. All right, guys, I got a neat little thing to show you though. Check this out. While we were under the car, we went ahead and added a switch so that when you have to come down here, and change your clutch weights out, see, we got our weights right here. Now we have a little switch, so instead of having to have someone sit in the car to turn it over, you just... That is how you can move around. So what we'll do then is you just have a little ratchet on the balancer and you kind of just pull it back and forth a little bit. But for the most part, you can just click our little switch. Pretty neat. All right, guys, so what Kevin is doing is he's using the dyno speedometer and matching it to Leroy's speedometer, and he's adjusting tire height scaling to make sure they match, because he knows his dyno is right, so he's trying to make Leroy's calibrated to be right at the dyno. 33 mile an hour. whole ceiling almost came down. Oh, dude, your cobwebs are cleared. What's that? Yeah, we got a rocket. That sounded pretty good. For how low a boost we were targeting, I mean, the picked
Look
up.
at the power. What'd you say we were targeting?
I said 1100, right?
Yeah.
1117. Nicely done. Yeah, it didn't sound like the clutch was slipping.
No, it was good.
Perfect.
I give it.
Woohoo! That's kind of right where we wanted to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I should have put. We had a couple of ignition misses on my pickup. You see the little hops in the
Oh yeah.
in the thing, but shoot, that was 187 miles an hour at 7,500.
Nice. What kind of torque did we put down?
813.
Perfect. Nice and smooth. Well, you were already like pretty much past peak torque when you got on it.
Yeah.
So guys, the clutch guys said not to just slam on it down low in the low RPM because it can really slip the clutch a lot. And so you got to kind of wait till like 5,000 RPM and then roll into it. It's just safer for the clutch being that we're on the dyno. This isn't a racetrack condition where the clutch is designed to rip.
Yep.
But
so you can see, ignore the spikes because that's where it had ignition miss. But if
Yeah.
you see this line is steadily climbing,
Yeah.
so it's wheel speed on the bottom, and then this graph is engine RPM. If it was sliding the clutch, you'd see it wow, and you'd see it pull out that
dude.
way.
Sick.
So
it looks like that's part of our boost ramp right there, maybe.
it is. So you can see this. It was actually this is part of boost ramp here. Some of that where I floored into it,
Yeah.
and then right at 160 is where it went to the full duty cycle we were commanding.
Nice.
And
That's sick, man.
It rolls on soft now, and
Look at that. First time using the new system, and it all just works.
it works perfect. Gotta
Hell
love
yeah.
Holly.
Nice job.
Gotta love Holly.
Gotta love that Holly ECU.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to try? What do you think?
I don't know if we need to do anything else.
Let's wait till we go to the track.
Yeah, like it's literally like I'd like to do the drive shaft RPM thing.
Yeah.
Where I give you a separate channel just for drive shaft RPM.
So now we'll have front wheel speed, drive shaft RPM, rear wheel speed, and we'll be able to do boost by speed instead of boost by gear.
Yep.
And
traction control if you want it.
yeah.
So
And I saw that you already improved the tune-up because like when you
yeah.
sometimes I always had this issue where when I'd mat the gas, the car kind of and then pick back up, and it was just kind of real bucky like, and
It was lean.
Kevin just kind of fixed all that, cleaned all that up, and
I might mess with that one more time,
Yeah.
but I don't need to make another full pull. Like
perfect, dude.
it's good for the track on the full pull. So
Sick. All right, well done, man.
it's awesome when they work like they're supposed to.
All right, guys, sounds like we're just gonna clean up the tune and load this thing in the trailer. Shout out to Kevin at KSR Performance and Fabrication. We will be back up here next week with Ruby to get her all ironed out before we leave for race week. But be sure to check out his YouTube channel. He posts all sorts of stuff. He actually filmed some stuff when he was machining today for the parts we used. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, Do It For Dale. We'll freaking see you later.